Okay, and hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk, and today I'm having a chat to Dana Willax, vocalist for Kingdom of Giants, who are due to release their fourth studio album, Passenger, 16th of October, which is the 16th here, but it's like 6 hours or 8 hours or something like that in the US, dude. So
Yeah,
thank you
man.
very much. I know you must be very busy, and congratulations on the album.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks. You're getting to hear it for the first time before me, almost in a way.
Yeah, dude, it's been a cracking morning for me. I got the promo for this last night, so I had a
Oh,
little
really?
listen last night, and then I woke up with a breakfast of champions, coffee, donuts, and some Kingdom of Giants, man.
Woo! Yes, you
Killer
love that.
morning, man. It is a ripping album, dude. Can I ask first, how did you approach the songwriting for this album?
Dude, we honestly, like, this one was a little bit different than the last. Like, a lot of these past records have really been like me and Max, our guitar player, just sitting in a room with a computer and just him coming up with a riff, and then me doing the recording process and just like Frankensteining that riff and then just start slowly building off of that. And it was just really just me and him just over and over and over again. And then this album, like, the whole band helped write, like, dramatically. Like, we very much expanded like the input from everybody. And we got a new bass player, clean vocalist, Jonny. And the dude brought so much to the table in terms of the writing process. He was writing full songs on his own, like songs like Blue Dream, songs like The Ride, and even like a lot to do with like Burner. Like, they're like a lot of these songs, like, Jonny just brought to the table out of nowhere. And he was the only other one at the time that also was into the recording process. So instead of people having to bring riffs to me and me working them into songs, he would just be on his own setup, tracking shit. And then he would just be able to show me a song, and he'd be like up to the bridge of a song and be like, I don't know what to do here. And I'd be like, let me take over. And then I'd be like to the bridge of a song, be like, I don't know what to do. And he'd be like, let me take over. So it was really cool, man. Really, really good writing process for this one.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that I'm noticing with Kingdom of Giants. You aren't afraid to grow and evolve, and Jonny's vocals, clean vocals, and has just lifted Kingdom of Giants so much.
Yeah,
and I mean that in a really positive way, because all your stuff before was OP as, dude. But Jonny's clean vocals was you and him kind of duality of it just fits so damn well, dude.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, he has been a game changer and a lifesaver. Like, I can like, All the Hell You Got to Spare was the first time I really started pushing myself into a higher range of the clean vocals. And I can do that in the studio all day long. But the moment you start screaming live and then you got to go to hit the highest note you've ever hit, you're like, oh, maybe I should have like tried this out before like I just started tracking this, because I can do this in the studio all day. But, the voice starts to get a little heavy 15 days into tour after screaming and then going to the singing. So Jonny picking up a lot of that, even the older stuff that we wrote, he's doing a lot of the cleans on live. Awesome. So, I mean, he has been, I don't know where we'd be without him, for sure.
That's got to help with your voice box as well, not throwing through so much damage as well, dude.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I even felt like on tour, sometimes I would like, I'm a very like personable person. I like to make friends. I like to talk to people and have conversations. And I'd be on tour and I felt like I wouldn't be able to like be myself, and I wouldn't be able to connect with fans or even the other bands that we're on tour with super well, because I'd be trying to save my voice and not have conversations. So I'd kind of like hide a little bit, and I wouldn't really be able to like, I was always concerned that people would think like, dude, he's a little bit of a dick. He never really talks to anybody. But in reality, it's because I'm super conscious of my voice, and I have a very vulnerable voice. So it's like, I'm not doing that at all for any other reason than I need to perform that night. But having Jonny there now, I can be a little bit more of myself and actually talk to people, so I don't need to save my voice for hitting those high notes as much anymore.
Exactly. People don't realize, like, when you're on stage, especially when you have a huge touring schedule, that it is really hard to get out there. And you've probably missed that part of getting in behind the merch stand as you were coming up through and saying hey to the fans as well coming through.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I was huge. I know people that get off stage and their vocals go straight to the merch, and they talk to 100 fans in a row, and like, that can mean the difference between a fan coming back to the next show and bringing 2 people with them that next time, And if that happens 10 times at a show, like, you're missing out on growth and opportunity, and the connection with your fans is so important. Like someone could be like, that was a good show. But then if they go home, they're like, that was such a good show. I got to meet the vocalist. He talked to me for a while. He was such a nice guy. You got to come to this next one. He's super cool. You know what I mean? So,
and they're buying merch as well. And that's the thing.
Totally.
You got the merch stand, you're buying some merch, and you're having a chat and building those conversations.
Totally.
So what was the recording and production process like on this one?
This one was actually really cool too, because Matt Thomas, Ashtone Audio in Sacramento, I think we were the first signed band that he actually got to work with, and he hooked us up super fat. We basically paid, financially, it was a little bit tough for this one, and he basically just had us pay his rent at his studio for a few months, like during the process, and did the whole thing like free. So he crushed the mix. It's the mix that we've always wanted and we've always felt would serve our band the way it needed to be served, and it's the way we've always wanted it to sound. And his production and his input on each song was so good, and probably go straight back to him for this next one. I can't imagine not. He's right there, and Jonny is actually working at his studio as an assistant now. So it's like, he helped us out a lot. The songwriting process was great. We all actually got to go to the studio. I tracked all my own vocals like I normally do, because just out of convenience, and my voice, sometimes I'm just like, I wake up and my voice is feeling good. I need to get in there right now. I can't really have like scheduled time. So it's easier that way. And I live like 8 hours away from the rest of the guys. So it's like studio time was a little tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was cool. It was a really good process. Matt crushed it.
Yeah, and you got some cool guests on this one. You got Michael Barr from Volumes appearing on the Blue
circle.
Dream. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, with
man,
and everything and the story behind that.
Yeah, dude, Michael's the boy. Like Volumes first tour. I mean, I say this every time we talk about Volumes, but it's like Volumes first tour and our first tour was the same tour, and they just blew up after that tour. And we just felt like we always had this special connection with them because of, going out together for the first time and being on the road. I think that first tour was literally our longest tour, like just going out for 5 weeks, like as a band that we literally didn't have any music out. I don't know how we got on that tour or why anyone put us on that tour, but we didn't have music out. Like we went on that tour in November of 2010. And then our EP came out in January, the end of January, the next following year. So how we got on that, I don't know, but we connected with them. So for him to leave Volumes and for everything to happen with Volumes, and then for him to come back into Volumes, and then to finally, he could have been on a song this any time throughout that. And he decided to get on, and we decided to like work with him when we felt the time was right after 10 years. It's a super special moment for us to finally connect on something. And then the Courtney, dude, she is just the most inspiring person in our scene right now. Her vocals are so good. I watch her, like, she's probably the only person in our scene that can do a front to back of their song live on YouTube without any editing whatsoever.
That one take
and
video
have
is
it
so
just
good, dude.
as good as her album. I couldn't do that. Jonny couldn't do that. No vocalist that I know can do that. So it was just crazy. And honestly, I knew that they were on the rise and coming up, but like we didn't go with them out of hype at all. No. Like we got in there because she's just a savage, and we thought they were really good, and they were like very underground and specific. And Truman were huge fans of Spiritbox, so we reached out and she did it. And like after she did it is when they just started popping off, and we were like, oh my god, like people are gonna think we got her just because they're big right now, but in reality that's not how it worked at all. I mean,
no, like Courtney's got a cool body of work. I wrestled a bear once. I come across I wrestled a bear once, and many a year ago. I think as they were first coming up, dude, and I was blown away then. So to watch her come through, and I've got some metalheads and some promoters and things like that, and they're just loving what she's bringing out. There's all this rave about Spiritbox, so it must have been really cool to have her come on and feature with that banging last track, The Ride, dude. That was a killer way to end the album as well.
Isn't that a cool way to end the album? Like you think it's over, like you don't know what you're getting, and then it's just like boom, Courtney comes in, just fucking reins the whole thing in. You know what I mean? Just, yeah, I thought that was a cool way to do it for sure.
Yeah, it was a cool one. And Sync, I want to chat about Sync because the opening lyrics, I got that written down. I think it's good to hurt sometimes. It makes me feel, it keeps me aligned. You'll never understand no matter what I try. I love those opening lyrics because I was actually having a chat. You love your tattoos as well. I was actually having a chat to my tattooist, mate. And he was saying the same thing. He's, man, sometimes I think as a human being, we need a certain amount of pain to make us feel alive and set us back in course again.
Straight up. I literally feel like I live my life like that. Like when everything's going too good for you for too long, you lose appreciation for good because you need to have something to measure it to. So if you've never felt a low, how do you even know what a high is? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think it's super important. Everything's going good. Everything's going good. Something terrible happens and you say, wow, I was taking for granted how good I really had it. So I think it's super important to feel all types of emotions so that you can actually like appreciate them.
Yeah, that's why sometimes the time in the chair for people like us, actually, you walk out feeling really good afterwards, dude, for some reason. Dude. You know, you'd be to say you get out, you got this buzz, man. I've just gone through how many hours of pain in the tattoo chair, but I'm actually feeling really good now.
For sure. But the first moment when the second that needle touches your skin, for me at least, I'm like, I forgot how much this hurts. And every single time I think like, why am I doing this again? I can't even remember. Like, how do you not remember last time? It hurt this bad last time too, dude. Like, you guys stop. But then like, here I am. I didn't stop, and now there's no going back.
I was the same. I just got my legs done last year or the year before, dude, and I forgot how much pain it was. I was the same. As soon as that needle hit, I was like, dude, I feel it. Ooh, yeah. And then you finish and you're like, dude, okay, I'm feeling really good. I'm charged up. I'm happy. For some reason, you go through that pain. That Sync just kind of, I know, it really resonated with me, especially those opening lyrics to that and the vocals to that, man. Really, really cool.
Yeah, man. I thought that was really important for when we put the first song out that anyone was going to hear, that it felt, you could feel the emotion in it and it felt super real. You weren't distracted by any of the instruments or anything like that. There was nothing else taking precedent. It was just, here's me, raw as fuck, screaming my ass off. You haven't heard us in 3 years. Imagine if we started with some clean vocals. You know what I mean? Like, what better way than just to come out of the gates screaming like crazy with no instruments, and then to come in with that banging riff that Jonny wrote last second, and just like, yeah, man, that was the way to do it. I love that track.
Yeah, can I ask about the Wayfinder track? Can you tell me a little bit about what that one means for you?
Yeah, dude, Wayfinder is arguably my favorite track on the record, just purely out of difference. And I feel like I don't get as much like angry pumped up when I hear that song. I just get like vibey pumped up, you know what I mean? Like, and like the song, you just can't not, like, I was watching on YouTube, man, it's like 2 Lit Reactions or something like that. It's a reaction video site from this dude. And like, I was watching it today and it like re-hyped me up on that song. Cause you know, you can get burnt out on even on your own album, you know, but you don't listen to it for a while. And then you hear someone else hear it for the first time. And he's just like, he had to pause it like 5 times, and it made me just appreciate the song more. He's like, I'm like, he's right, yo, this song does slap. You know?
That must be really cool for you to have that interaction. That is really cool to hear that you going over and check those reaction videos and actually vibe off how much these fans are digging your music, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like he was breaking it down as the song went along, and he's just like, he broke it down for me almost as to why I like that song so much, because it feels like, okay, it's vibing pretty hard, and then, you know, Jonny comes in and he does that soft first verse, and then boom, the chorus hits, and it's a powerful chorus, and then everything drops out, and you're like, okay, they're probably gonna have another soft verse here, like the first one. Boom, that's the first time you hear me scream in the song. I scream that whole verse. Boom, that chorus come back, so you know the chorus this time, and you're singing along with it, and then it drops out, and you're like, wait a second, this dropped out pretty low. This has got to come back in pretty hard. This is the Kingdom of Giants. They're probably gonna have a breakdown. Huge breakdown, very like intricate, clever breakdown in my opinion. And I do clean vocals, raspy, clean vocals over it. It's like, I don't know, it feels unpredictable
Yeah.
in a song that you thought was going to be predictable. And like, I don't know, something about that song, man, just sits with me really well.
Yeah, and the clips for them all that you've released so far, the YouTube clips and everything, look so good, man. They're really well done. Who done all them for you?
Dude, that is our boy Ori McGinnis. I'm in the video world myself, and I work with him. Like I shoot most of the music videos that he does, and then he directs them and he edits them, and they're all his idea. I pretty much just hold the camera, but he really hooked us up on this. He put a lot of time in to make sure these were sick, and he knew just as well as us that at this time we can't play shows, we can't release this album, we can't do an album release show. People are on their phones, they're on their computers, and they're seeing these songs as much as they are hearing them. So we knew that we needed to create a vibe visually as well as musically for this album, and that the visuals needed to be as good to support the music. So we really went in and we made it cohesive. He put a lot of time and effort and thought and creativity into these things, and I just couldn't appreciate more what he did for us on this record to really make these songs stand out.
Yeah, they're visually stunning and captivating, and I do really enjoy the clips, man. They came out bloody well. It must be good for you too. It must be refreshing having Jonny on board as well, and with this album, you know, going forward, you've probably got a ton of material, and you touched on the fact that you can't play live and you can't have release shows and that, but that doesn't mean anyone watching this can't get along and support Kingdom of Giants, man. He's got vinyl, he's got some ripping merch, more so now than anything's the time to be checking out bands. I've checked out so many bands in this time. Yeah, it sucks you can't play and go to shows, but we can still support bands like yourself by buying merch and getting along and showing support and listening to the whole album, dude. Like doing it justice and going through from start to finish. I don't want people to forget how good it is to slap on an album and play it all the way through. And that's what I like about vinyl, bro. You can put in your vinyl and you got the whole album. It becomes a listening experience to me. You pull it out, you know, chuck it on the record, man, and then you're looking through the, you know, it's just so good, man. Everything about it, eh?
Hey, man, I appreciate that. It means a lot to hear someone say that rather than me preach it. Like, for me to say and be like, you got to remember, there's other ways you can support us. Like, I can't say that. You saying that is very important. You know, I appreciate that so much, man, because it's true.
Yeah, I say at every interview, Dana, it's like in this time people forget, you know, and I think we get caught up in that digital medium. Yeah, it's good to throw in some likes and listen to Spotify. I'll do it too, but if I like something, I will go buy an album. I will buy vinyl. You can tell I buy merch, flags, whatever it is, wherever I can get my wall plastered with it, bro. Eh? So, you know, it's all about supporting the scene and, you know, not just the digital mediums as well, buying albums and physicals and merch, man. So I'm all about that, bro. All about the support. I'm going to sign out, man. I know you got a ton more interviews and media to do. You got the album dropping, so I'm going to let you get a coffee before the next one or whatever.
I appreciate that.
So thank you very much. Any last words, shout outs or thank yous you want to quickly add in before we do?
Dude, just thank you to everyone who helped this album come together. Thank you for Sean from Sharptone for getting us out of a rut and signing us, and you know, Matt at Ashtone for making the audio possible and just pulling this whole record together. Ori for all the visuals, just everybody. I mean, it was such a massive team effort for this one, and wouldn't be possible without every single person. So Jam It comes out tonight in the US at 9. So Jam It. We got a music video dropping tonight along with it for another of my favorite songs. So check it out.
We'll share that one as well with Crannk. This has been a massive pleasure, Dana. Everyone grab the Kingdom of Giants Passenger album. Turn it up really bloody loud because the neighbours are going to want to hear this one too. Dana, thank you very much. Have a lovely night. Cheers, mate.
Later, brother. Thank you so much. Bro.